Hello and welcome to the ARCS. We're live here from Watkins, Glen International for the running of the Cheez-It 60. Well folks, Justin Vickers claimed the win last week after surviving a fuel mileage game of wits with his fellow drivers. We now arrive at the first road course of the season to see who else can jot their names down in ARCS history. But for now, let's get into the top 10 qualifiers in the field. Starting in the pole, Matt Carter. In second, Johannes Schaefer. In third, Cassidy Reynolds. In fourth, Bob Verstappen. In fifth, last week's winner, Justin Vickers. In sixth, Crispy Bacon. In seventh, Butthead Boothroyd. In eighth, Michael Redinger. In ninth, John Ross Stein. And rounding out your top 10, Robbie Margot. Let's look at the rest of the drivers in the grid and get right on into the action here at Watkins Glen. And we're live here at Watkins Glen for the first road course race of the season. Carter, Johannes Schaefer on the front row. Who will get the best jump into turn one? Only 25 laps here at Watkins Glen, a fairly short race. Who's going to get the best start in the Geico restart zone? It's pretty dead even going down into the first corner here at Watkins Glen. Carter might have the best entrance to the corner. Schaefer rolls the outside, still fairly even. Ooh, Schaefer there loses a little bit on the outside. How about Cassidy Reynolds up here again? Reynolds was denied 2 weekends in a row. Didn't get it at Atlanta or at Auto Club last week. But how about that? Matt Carter with a great jump here as everybody else trying to pick up the pieces back there in the middle of the pack. You can see him dipping and diving between the lanes as they go into the bus stop for the first time. Still side by side. Schaefer able to get through over Reynolds. That's big. Now Schaefer will have to set their eyes on that number 2 car of Matt Carter. We did see Matt Carter in the previous race work really well with her teammate. That being the Jones machine, that number 15 car. And speaking of Jones, Jones is last. It's a Red Bull sandwich right now. First and last for Red Bull. How about that? So Matt Carter, he's going to come around and lead the first lap here at Watkins Glen. Pretty dominating first lap here. As well, it didn't show the right time on the timing screen, but now about half a second is the gap as they come across the line. But everybody's still trying to work on each other back there. As you can see Blubber Plumber back there. I believe he's all the way back. There he is right there in the middle of the pack. But he's had some really good luck here at Watkins Glen, and he's just been really good overall. We've went here only 2 other times, and the only 2 times we've went here, Blubber Plumber has won, so maybe he can pull something out of a hat, but he is buried deep in this pack. He's going to have to work the pit strategy game, which we will see a lot of today. As Schaefer, looks like Schaefer's cutting a little bit into the Carter lead here, just a tad bit, as these drivers trying to negotiate this 2.4 mile road course, 2.45 mile I should say. But no cautions so far. They've been able to keep it fairly clean. They're either one or the other. Usually they're either really wreck happy, these drivers at the Glen, or they usually are able to stretch it out. As you can see them all coming through this final corner here at the Glen. As Carter gets to the stripe, we'll see the delta at the line. Ooh, only about a 10th or a 100th or 2 off that last lap. Whoa, as Carter goes wide that corner, so did Schaefer. Cassidy Reynolds able to make some ground up here. Maybe Reynolds will get another second place finish. Hopefully Reynolds will be able to do better, as we have all these alternate angles around Watkins Glen that we can show you, like we did at Road America last season, as it is a very beautiful road course out in New York. As you can see Jack Porter working back there against, I believe that was Boothroyd coming into the bus stop there, as he will concede. No, he doesn't concede the spot. He falls back into the clutches of John Ross Stein back there. So we'll take a look at what's going on back here. Yeah, Jack Porter had to concede the spot there. I believe that battle is for the top 10, or around the edge of the top 10. I believe it's for 9th. So a good battle going on back there for the top 10. John Ross Stein, he's had some decent finishes on road courses. His home track is Road America in Wisconsin, but last season not able to get a good finish at Road America, as everyone is coming around to the start-finish line. But how about that? I believe Justin Vickers, last week's winner, is going to make a dive bomb to the inside of Cassidy Reynolds. Reynolds and Vickers, very familiar from last week's battle for the win, are up at the front again this week. Oh, and the caution is out, folks. The pace car's on the field. Maxwell Smart is toast. So is Hammond. Hammond, this is going to be a big hit in the points as Hammond is toward the top in the points. So 4 laps in and we have a caution. I believe they're going to race back. That is correct. They're going to race back. So they didn't get the caution before the green, or get the caution before the line. So they will race back. Schaefer able to close up a lot. Lost a little bit of time through the bus stop. But everyone getting a little bit of a breather here at Watkins Glen in the early stages as there's Hammond. He's a smoke machine back there, laying down smoke in the back of the pack. And these drivers will gingerly cross through the last couple of corners here and just get to the caution flag here, not cause another accident, hopefully. So it looks like Carter, the dominant Carter car, will lead us back, but Schaefer able to close up at the end of that little green flag stint there, and we'll see the cause for caution in just a second. And we're back here at Watkins Glen with the replay of the accident. Here's Hammond, and I believe it's Seville. Seville just a little too aggressive. They almost hit the entrance to the pit road. Maxwell Smart gets involved. Timothy Ashton, the points leader, gets involved. So I believe the top 1 or 2 drivers in the points get involved. And that is a massive hit in the points here at Watkins Glen, as we have an onboard there from the Seville machine. But a massive hit in the points for the top 2. And we're back here at Watkins Glen. You can see the man there at the end of pit road with the sign, but we have pit stops. So it looks like we have Schaefer's going to pit, as well as probably a lot of these drivers, it looks like. A lot of drivers electing to pit, but I believe only about the top 5 or 10 cars stayed out. And it looks like everybody else filing onto pit road as Deacon Gentleman gets spun by Maxwell Smart back there. I don't think Gentleman pit, so he might come out first, but oh no, he doesn't come out first. Oh, as it's close. Ooh, contact made there. Vickers almost got off first, but it looks like Schaefer will hold serve. Crispy Bacon vaults a lot of spots, and Cassidy Reynolds goes back, but there are the cars that did not pit under this cycle. 2 Red Bull cars won, 2 Matt Carter and Bob Verstappen. There's some other drivers that are coming off pit road. A lot of damaged cars, it looks like. There's Timothy Ashton involved in that accident, but we will get back to it here at Watkins Glen in just a moment. And we're back here at Watkins Glen. Richard Petty going to dive off here, but as we saw earlier, we had some cars involved in an accident. That was Hammond, and he will finish last in today's race, doing really well in the points as we get back to it here. Bob Verstappen going to start on the front row here. So 2 Red Bull cars, 1, 2. Carter led most of the opening stages of this race, but we'll see if Verstappen has anything for these guys. Green flag's out. Verstappen with the jump over the other Red Bull car as they're all filing down into the first corner. Who will get the best run out of this corner? Looks like, oh, Carter might get it. Will Verstappen fall in line? No, he doesn't. Oh, as Boothroyd gets up into him, makes contact coming through the S's here. Oh my goodness, it's getting aggressive up at the front. They know they can't let Carter run away like he did before. Oh, and how about that? John Ross Stein up here inside the top 5. We talked about him being in the top 10. As he goes to the outside of Boothroyd, will he get the better run out of this corner? No, he won't. So it looks like the 2 Red Bull cars are going to dominate for now. But like we kind of mentioned earlier, the top 5 cars did not pit. So Carter, Verstappen, Boothroyd, John Ross Stein, and then Jack Porter did not pit. So those drivers will have to pit at some point in this race. But everyone from Schaefer back is good. Might be good to go to the end. We really don't know. We could see another stop, but these drivers trying to hold off the rest of the field. I think these drivers at the front are probably hoping for a caution because they'd have to come down during green flag conditions to pit. So we'll see what happens as, whoa, Carter gets a little off track there. Out of the line for him. That might let Verstappen catch up just a little bit. But about 4 cars breaking away at the front. There's Maxwell Smart there with the damage back there, but he's still able to keep with this pack back here. We have Jerry Funk and a couple other drivers, Isaac Jacobs back there. This will probably be where the calamity will spawn if a caution comes out. It's always important to keep an eye on these cars, as there's Jones back there, as we talked about the sandwich, the Red Bull sandwich earlier. They had a car in first and in last. Definitely a different mentality for each driver there, as one's leading and one is all the way back here. And there's Theo Jr. back here trying to battle in the Rainbow Warrior scheme. Blubber Plumber working on Eli the Wolf up there. There's a lot of two wide action back here. It's Timothy Ashton. You can see him there, was involved in that accident early in the race. There's the Grimace car right there. Grimacing is what's in front of him. There's a lot of cars in front of him. As, woo, some guys going a little wide there. As Blubber's cutting through the field here just a little bit. He's still got a long ways to go, but he's going to probably need a caution or two to make things up here and hope that those drivers up front have to pit. He's got a nice view here at the Glen, as there is... Oh, Jack Porter, he looked to the inside of John Rothstein, but how about this? The two Red Bull cars are 1-2, and they are a lot closer than we last saw. Is Bob Verstappen putting the pressure on Matt Carter? He is right there. He will not relent, and he will take no prisoners. As how about the battle for the potential race win back there, as Vickers and Schaefer are side by side. If Vickers can hold off on the outside here, he'll have the best corner into the final corner. Oh, will he drop in? He will. He almost had the perfect line to take that spot away from Schaefer. Oh, there's an accident! Whoa! Justin Vickers nearly got turned. Last week's winner, I think it was with Schaefer. Justin Vickers was getting aggressive, leaning on Schaefer there for that spot. And Vickers nearly loses his whole entire race in one corner. So Schaefer being really aggressive there. Schaefer knows that really it is the battle for track position here at the Glen. As still, these two Red Bull cars so dominant, but just right next to each other. We'll see what happens here. Oh, Verstappen's going to look inside the braking zone. He's going to go to the outside. He's going to look to the outside of Carter. Will he get the run here? No, he goes in the grass. He almost had it. But he was able to make a move on these cars, and everybody else is coming to the front here. Carter's fading, as there goes Verstappen to the outside, and everyone's pounced on Carter now. But are they fast enough to pass Carter? I do not know. Verstappen rolling the outside here. He goes wide there. He's not able to hold the perfect line to the inside of Carter there. But he gets a good run off the corner. He's going to have a lot of momentum coming to the line. So it's getting hot up at the front here at Watkins Glen. These drivers starting to make moves here. Oh, speaking of moves, Boothroyd's looking to the inside of John Rothstein. So is Schaefer on Porter. So this has brought everyone into the fray here. This looks like Boothroyd's going to get the spot over John Rothstein. He overdrives it just a little bit. Is Schaefer there trying to put the pressure on these drivers that haven't pit yet? So Schaefer is in the catbird seat really, as Porter there has fallen behind Schaefer. So Schaefer's made short work of Porter, one of the cars that has to pit still. But how about Michael Redinger up here? We haven't talked about Michael Redinger much. I believe he pit, so he's worked his way through the field. Cassidy Reynolds lost some spots as well, as Crispy Bacon looking to the inside here. Is everybody chugging along still, but when will pit strategy come into play? That is the question. And while we have a second, let's see what happens as they come to the line here. So they will not pit here. Let's take a look in the Cheez-It 60. We'll take a look in the Cheez-It 60. The fastest lap so far, as Cheez-It's on the flag stands, as you can see there. And the fastest lap goes to Justin Vickers. Justin Vickers has had just about everything, for the most part, go his way, except for that almost accident into the barrels. Coming out of the final corner, turn 11. As Schaefer trying to work on John Rothstein there. Schaefer with the better tires and gas. John Rothstein trying to hold off Schaefer. And I believe John Rothstein is doing fairly well when it comes to points. He's right near that cutoff line, if I remember correctly, as Michael Redinger makes the pass on Cassidy Reynolds, I believe, back there, or maybe Redinger did have that spot over Reynolds, but Redinger now going to try to move to the back bumper of Porter and make a pass. So Michael Redinger, been in the series probably like a handful of drivers, the longest of all, but does not have a win to show for it. Jack Porter's been in season one, or was in season one as well, but wow, how about that? Michael Redinger using the outside line of Porter, but he doesn't make it work there. He tried to roll the outside. How about this? Verstappen's going to look to the inside. Will he be able to upset Matt Carter? That is the question. He dives to the inside. He's got him side by side, but will he get the run off? Carter just able to carry so much momentum. Oh, as he runs Carter. Oh, he runs him hard, makes contact. He knows he's going to have to rough him up if he wants the spot. Oh, he's there. He is really there. As Verstappen there, everybody looking to the outside lane. But Verstappen and Boothroyd there as well. How about Boothroyd? Haven't talked about Boothroyd much at all. As they go side by side. Verstappen, oh my goodness. He's had a terrible couple quarters, and that's allowed Boothroyd to get by. So Boothroyd to the second spot, I should say. And Schaefer now has cut the distance between the car in first and that number one car. So Schaefer trying to make it work on the outside, but John Rothstein fighting hard on the other side. But who will get the spot? John Rothstein going to hold that car off. So Matt Carter, he's been able to withhold the pressure from these other drivers so far as he rockets down into turn one, but Boothroyd as well. Ooh, Carter goes wide a little bit there, but so does Boothroyd. So third place, back to third place, I should say, is Verstappen here. He was able to fight with Carter. Who was Jack Porter there? Well, those drivers that didn't pit, but Cassidy Reynolds trying to make a move on the back bumper. Coming up this time, coming up on 10 laps to go. And like we said, been saying throughout the entire race, these guys are going to have to pit. So these top 4 or 5 drivers haven't gotten the benefit of the doubt when it comes to the caution. And they're going to have to pit eventually. So this will be interesting here at the Glen. It's been really interesting too because the last 2 races have really been decided by fuel strategy. We've seen some really aggressive battles at the front, but fuel strategy has just been the theme of this season. As, woo, John Rothstein nearly put the bumper to Verstappen there. John Rothstein can feel the pressure right behind in Schaefer right there, breathing down John Rothstein's neck. Is Cassidy Reynolds going to jump out of line there? Look to the inside of Porter at the stripe, so we'll see if Cassidy Reynolds makes a move. I believe Cassidy Reynolds did pit earlier, so Cassidy Reynolds, she's trying to pass Jack Porter. I think she's going to do it. She will. So Cassidy Reynolds makes the move on Porter. Oh, and Porter and Michael Rettinger lean on each other there in the S's. The S's have just been dangerous today. All these drivers trying to get everything they can. So Porter drops another spot to Rettinger. I believe he's one of the farthest back cars in terms of the cars that have not pitted yet. So Cassidy Reynolds right behind Schaefer. Cassidy Reynolds in the bridesmaid seat once again of the cars that have pitted. Maybe she can get it done. We still don't know. There is still a lot left to be decided here. It's coming to 9 to go this time. Looks like Boothroyd's made some inroads on Carter here in the recent laps. Oh, these guys are coming to pit. As we said earlier, here they go. So these drivers come down to pit. Carter comes down to pit. So does Boothroyd. And Porter, the last of those, Deacon Gentleman pits as well. So an interesting host of drivers coming down. Realistically, they're going to need these drivers staying out right now to pit again. So this will be interesting. An interesting call by these cars. But Carter will lead them down. As we see McElwain back there. Eli the Wolf and others now as they cycle up to the front. But Schaefer with a commanding lead over Reynolds. Michael Rettinger there, another driver we briefly mentioned earlier. Let's take a look at these guys back here that are now in the top 10. I believe we have Blubber Plumber sneaking up inside the top 10, looks like. Potentially, as Felix Benoit gets the spot on him, I believe. But Blubber Plumber looking for a top 10 finish here at Watkins Glen. Place he's oh so dominated a lot here. The only driver to really ever win at Watkins Glen, as he is still in play, but these drivers getting up to speed. It's going to be an uphill battle as they go uphill through the S's if they want to win, but they might have the strategy to win. We don't know if these drivers up front can make it up to the end on fuel. But Schaefer will be the new leader at Watkins Glen with about 0.4 of a second over Cassidy Reynolds. Cassidy Reynolds in second, third Michael Rettinger, fourth Crispy Bacon. We've not really talked about Crispy Bacon much. He's been kind of all over the place when it comes to finishes this season, but looking like a good finish here at the first road course. And as you see the damage, look at the damage on the side of Justin Vickers' car as he made contact with the wall. I believe that was with Schaefer. So there's some bad blood between Schaefer and that car of Vickers. So Schaefer doesn't have a win, might get a win here today. As we see the cars battling back there, poor Timothy Ashton battling with McElwain there. As Timothy Ashton, really good in points, up at the top in the top 3 or 4 spots, but got damage early in this one with a couple other drivers. As Hammond, as we talked about really early in the broadcast, he got some damage as well. As you can see, all these drivers trying to fight for scraps back here, any measly points they can get. And Matt Carter, the best of the group, but not the best of the group, is Maxwell Smart all the way back there. You can see these guys, Sarah Jones back here, and others. Jack Burfine, a driver we really haven't talked about much today, McElwain as well, all trying to carve out solid days and just get more points in the bank. As Draven and Wolfthane are going to go side by side into the S's up there. They make it work. It's been a really tricky spot for a lot of these cars through the S's today. As Crispy Bacon looking to work to the inside of Renninger. Will he pop out in the bus stop? He does not. He is content to ride for now. As I believe Schaefer bumped up the distance between Reynolds and the one car, about 2/10 that lap, or about 1/10 and a half. Oh, as the caution is out, no! And the caution is out! This changes everything here at the Glen. What happened? Oh my goodness, as Jack Porter's done! What happened to Jack Porter? And they're gonna come back to the line, and Johanna Schaefer is gonna lead back, presumably, here. So this is gonna be interesting. The cars that just pitted might have made a high IQ move, but Jack Porter's in shambles on pit road. And we'll see what happened here at the Glen. Ah, what a beautiful day at Watkins Glen, as the flagman there just enjoying a beautiful day here at Watkins Glen, and Deacon Gentleman and Jack Porter get into it here just a little bit coming off the corner, and oh, Jack Porter nearly bends it into the barrels, and the flagman says, red flag, nobody goes into pit road because there is a car that is junked, and that is the reason for caution here at Watkins Glen. And we're back here at Watkins Glen. Johanna Schaefer is going to pit here at the Glen with only a handful of laps to go. Kevin Xavier is going to stay out, and he's going to chance it. Oh my goodness! And so is Robbie Margot, and everybody else is coming down. Sandy's going to chance it. Another driver's going to chance it. Couldn't quite make out who they were. Oh my goodness! What is going on here at the Glen? Pit strategy galore. As we are taking a look at the other drivers that stayed out. So it'll be Xavier, Margot, Sandy, and Remington all stay out. Schaefer's going to come in, so we'll see who leads them back. Oh, but these other drivers that pitted earlier are going to leapfrog these guys. So Schaefer gets out first over Reynolds, Eli the Wolf, Vickers, Blubber Plummer, Benoit, Tony Jansen, and others are going to join the fray off pit road. But my goodness, we've got drivers that stayed out, and then we've got drivers that are going to try to stretch it here at the front. So we'll get a couple lap dash to decide this one here at the Glen. And we're back here at Watkins Glen. Jack Porter out of this race, but how about this? Kevin Xavier, Robbie Margot, Draven Sandy, Jonathan Remington, going to roll the dice here at the Glen, and they're going to gamble on fuel mileage as we're going to get 4 laps remaining in this one. But as we remember back, Matt Carter and those other drivers that pitted in the middle of the green flag run, they are right behind to capitalize if these guys can't make it. Green flag's out and we're underway at the Glen. Xavier has been middle of the pack all race. Sandy looking to get another win. Sandy trying to make it 3 wide. Oh my goodness. Will Sandy make a 3 wide move into the first corner? I don't know. As Sandy's going to send it up the inside. Sandy's there, but oh, Margot holding strong through the S's. Robbie Margot never won a race in the ARCS. Carter there pushing these drivers to the limit there. He knows that they are gambling. Oh my goodness, it's getting so dicey here at the front. Carter goes wide on Boothroyd. Oh, Margot still holds strong though. These top 2 drivers have never won in the Adrenaline Racing Cup Series before, but they are only a handful of laps away from getting their first win. Xavier or Margot, which will it be? But how about this? Remington trying to dive to the inside of Sandy, as we have 2 drivers who haven't won before. Oh, Sandy pits! Sandy can't make it! looks in, he's going to give up, and he's got to pull down. 1 down, 3 more drivers are left that haven't pit. Robbie Margot, Xavier, and it looks like Remington's trying to hold up those drivers back there. Remington is turned into a pick here. He's trying to block the rest of the field from catching these drivers. And he can really do whatever he wants because he's won already. He's just trying to capitalize on a good points day. But Margot and Xavier trying to put one in the books here at Watkins Glen. But how about this? Who could have thought it would have come down to this, Margot or Xavier? Xavier the rookie, Margot the veteran. Margot's had plenty of races here at the Glen, but never been able to capture victory. It's always been Blubber Plumber. You have to play second fiddle when you come here against Blubber Plumber, but Blubber Plumber's been having a little bit of an off day, and that off day has allowed these drivers to make things happen. But how about Boothroyd here? Trying to look to the inside of Remington. Oh, and these guys are going to come down and pit! No, they can't make it! Boothroyd's to the lead here. Oh my goodness, is Carter trying to chase down on Boothroyd? Who is going to make it to the finish as Boothroyd's going to lead with 3 laps to go? Oh my goodness. And here it is, the battle for the win at Watkins Glen, and it just keeps changing every lap. As Boothroyd out front, Matt Carter in second, and how about that, back to third, Bob Verstappen. So these drivers, with a very high IQ move, trying to put one to bed here at Watkins Glen and just make the strategy work. But Deacon Gentleman's looking to the inside. He was involved in that accident with Jack Porter on John Ross Stein here. What will he do? Goes to the outside in the bus stop. Will he get the better corner, though? Oh, he does, or does he? I don't know. They're going to be even off the corner. But it looks like Gentleman's going to sneak by. So Gentleman makes a pass happen in the bus stop. That's been a really hard place to pass, but Gentleman gets it done. So he's up to 4th here. But these drivers up front have been so dominant here today. They've been able to play the fuel strategy and just really been fast in general all day. As we come to 2 laps to go here at Watkins Glen. Can they make it? We don't know. Michael Redinger pits as we see him dive off back there. Another driver can't make it. 2 laps to go. Boothroyd in that beautiful number 96. How about this? For Boothroyd to get his first win, and we haven't had any veterans win this season. It's been all rookies. So how about that? Boothroyd could add his name to the list of rookies to win this season, but Carter's not done. We saw Carter win the majority of this race and be really dominant early on, but will Carter have the attacking power in the closing stages of this one to get it done? I don't know. But he is right there on the back bumper of Boothroyd. Oh my goodness, they might make contact. They are so close. Matt Carter is there. Will he make a move to the inside? He is drafting off the back of that 96. He might have to save a little gas here if he wants to make it to the end. Carter is oh so close. And oh so close to that pit line there too, the pit commitment line. You never know what's going to happen. Is they're going to get the white flag here at Watkins Glen? Will it be Carter or will it be Boothroyd? Here we go, 1 lap to go at the Glen, presented by Cheez-Its. The Cheez-It 60 at the Glen. 3 cars on top of each other for the race win. As Boothroyd holding strong, as we see Johanna Schaefer back there trying to pass Cassidy Reynolds. But that is not the battle for the win. Schaefer back there, not important to this battle, and they are right on top of each other. I don't think we've seen cars this close at all at the Glen. Will they make a move into the bus stop? Carter is there. He is oh so close. Will he make a move? No, he doesn't, but he is breathing down the deck of the 96. Will any of these drivers get offline in the final couple corners? Is Carter trying to move to the outside? Maybe he carries some momentum off this corner. He is so close. Carter or Boothroyd, who's going to get it off the final 2 corners here? Boothroyd braking early. Carter is right there. I don't think Carter's going to have enough. Unless they run out of fuel on the last corner. But how about this? Boothroyd, out of the final corner, he's going to steal one at Watkins Glen, and he does it for his first career win. And at the stripe, Bob Verstappen tries to get Carter, but he doesn't. And how about that? Butthead Boothroyd wins at the Glen. An amazing finish for that team. Congratulations to the 96 at the Glen. And we're back here at Watkins Glen with Butthead Boothroyd able to score his first career win here at Watkins Glen. In second, the number 2 car of Matt Carter with a really dominant car all day long, but not able to get it done here at Watkins Glen. In third, Verstappen. Fourth for Deacon Gentleman, a good run for Gentleman. In fifth, John Ross Stein with a solid top 5 run. In sixth, Johanna Schaefer not able to make the strategy work on fuel. In seventh, Cassidy Reynolds. Eighth, Eli the Wolf. Ninth, Crispy Bacon with a good run. And rounding out your top 10, Felix Benoit. How about that, folks? 11th place for Blubber Plumber, just shy of a top 10 as he keeps his fairly consistent streak of runs at Watkins Glen going. And as we only had 2 cars out of this one, Hammond and Porter, and we had 1 car 1 lap down, Timothy Ashton, so that's going to hurt in the points for Ashton. But overall, a really good race here at Watkins Glen, and we will see you next race at Armory Digital Speedway.